Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Happy New Year to everyone. It's your boy. I haven't done this in a while, so I do apologize for stuttering, for pausing. I'm trying to remember how I do this. Welcome back to the Cast-ket. It is December 31st. It is currently midday, noon over here. And I've wanted to make a podcast prior to this talking about power in the sense of regaining your power or rediscovering your power, your magic, all of that. You know what I'm saying? I was very busy this holiday season. It was very fruitful. I'm very glad that I was able to do festive things because, truth be told, I haven't been able to do festive things for the last several years. So this really felt amazing to do, and I'm very grateful. So this episode might be a fusion of still that topic of power or the rediscovery of one's power, but this is also going to serve as a review of the year since it is the last day of 2023, and a lot has happened. Overall, the one word that I can sum this year up in two words with different meanings or different connotations. One word, or the first word, is growth. In a span of a year, trying to recap everything that I've done, whether that be personal or interpersonally, it has been fruitful as far as growth. How I was a year ago is definitely not how I am today, which I am coincidentally the second word that can sum up 2023 is gratefulness. I've done a lot of changing. I've done a lot of growth. I've done a lot of introspective thinking, and I feel like that was my word of the year, introspective or introspection. Introspection is basically you reflecting internally, like on yourself or one's self, like, what do I think about this? How do I think about this? Like trying to deep dive into one's, actions, one's past, present, future, just thinking about self. You know what I'm saying? Like if a situation happens, I'm going to reflect on how does this make me feel? What do I want to do? How can I learn from this so that I can be better and things of that nature, which is great. But a lot of great things, and I don't want to say a lot, but a few bad things happened throughout this year. I won't go into them individually, but I am grateful that I have survived the bad stuff, that I've grown and learned and tried to understand why certain things happened the way that they did, and to trust the universe, to trust my gut, to trust myself, to bet on myself, and put myself at a standing of self-appreciation, self-love, self-growth, and self-benefit, not at the detriment of anyone else, but to really get back that magic or rediscover my own magic by whatever action, whatever I do in life. I always strive to be better than I was yesterday, or hell, better than I was 20 minutes ago. To really see where I came from, I'm like, okay, how can we do the next time or the next year, God willing, how can we make that better? I'm always striving for the next thing, better things, because I know and I feel that I am deserving of that, because I work my ass off. My intentions are true. My intentions are pure. And I just want overall the world to smile one more time, to give that spark of hope, that spark of creativity, individuality, rebellion, but also status quo a little bit. There needs to be stability in certain areas, but not too much. There needs to be change, challenge. There needs to be divisiveness. I think that's a word, but all of that, good stuff. This episode's going to be kind of scattered a bit. I'm kind of just thinking randomly of like all the things that have happened throughout this year. And it also makes me think about, for the last several years, I haven't been really intrigued or inclined to make a best of video or a compilation video of all the moments of the year. I kind of stopped it due to personal reasons that I won't get into, but I feel like I might make one for 2023, but it won't be obviously into like maybe sometime January 2024. But I feel like it's time to bring those back, and I'm excited. A lot of things happened in the years prior that I'm going to just leave back there because I'm focused on the present and I'm focused on the future. I'm very excited about 2024. I feel like in my gut and in my spirit that this year is going to be even more growth, even more self-growth, self-appreciation, helping others, learning from others. Hopefully I can incorporate a team and just be bigger, badder, radder, more fun, more entertaining, more honest, more open, more truthful, more down to earth, more everything. More duality. That's another thing that I've really grasped and really honed throughout this year. The acceptance of like, yeah, I'm a positive Pete. I love to be entertaining and I want everyone to smile, but I'm also being real with myself to know that every emotion that I feel or have experienced is valid and real. I'm talking about the bad parts. I'm talking about the things that, like that dark side of people or, the deep depths of people that a lot of people are afraid to showcase to other people. I'm learning to accept that for who I am, like a part of who I am. It's valid. It can be used for good. It can be utilized for not surface level things. It can be transformative. And I feel like I am a lot more myself because I have accepted that part of myself. I was very afraid of it for basically my entire life, but I know that I can be spicy. I can be very boisterous. I can be very rebellious, spiteful at times, but it's not like an overall, summary of who I am. It's only a part of who I am, and I'm learning how to utilize it for better means of self. I don't want to take away from anybody because I'm a huge do-it-yourselfer sometimes, or oftentimes too much, to where I literally would do everything for myself and on myself and not open anyone else's help or accept anyone else's help. But I'm learning and I'm observing basically everything that I'm doing. Like, okay, what led to this? If this were to happen this way, what could be the outcome that happens? And do various scenarios of like, okay, this is what happened. If I were to do this next time, I feel like this will probably get this outcome. And it's trial and error and things of that nature. But this year was all about trying. This year was all about going outside the box for real and being authentic with it. This year was all about, confiding, being open, being vulnerable, talking about my feelings, talking about what's on my head to certain individuals, and just having a space just to free talk and to free think. Because as I'm talking, or whether it be a vent, a rant, whatever, I am observing what I'm saying. Because a lot of the times, if you do internal monologues, internal thinking, or internal speaking without actually vocalizing that, I don't know, I guess for me, it's different when I hear it versus what I think, what I'm saying in my head. You know what I'm trying to say? So when I get to actually hear my voice and the words that I speak in whatever that I'm speaking, it hits different. I kind of answer my own questions. Like, let's say I'm asking a question, I'm doing a rant or a vent to somebody that I'm confiding into, and I say something that kind of just, it hits and it clicks. And I'm like, wow, that kind of makes sense. And it makes me think of other things. So I'm very grateful for the small inner circle that I have. I'm grateful for their time. I'm grateful for, their energy, their feedback, their honesty, their bluntness. I'm grateful for them being completely honest. Like, even if whatever I say contradicts what they're thinking or their ways or their lifestyles, they would not only just say I disagree, but they'll teach me why, or we'll balance ideas back and forth, like a good, healthy communication thing of wow, I didn't think about it from that perspective. Thank you. Because otherwise I wouldn't have thought it. And I hope you, the listener, I can find people like that, have found people like that. If you haven't already, I hope you can find them. Again, wow, I just repeated myself. This podcast, I'm definitely out of whack, and I'm definitely kind of just all over the place with it. I do appreciate you listening to this podcast, and hopefully I can make this more consistent to where I can do this maybe once a month at least. But I'm grateful for this podcast, and I'm grateful for you as a listener listening to my confusing ass. But this year overall taught me a lot. It taught me to be okay with my loneliness, okay with being by myself and appreciating my alone time. Of course, I don't want to be alone all the time, because there can be dicey situations with that, like isolation and trauma and all that kind of good stuff. But I have grown to really love my own company, my own space, my own thoughts, my own this and my own that. Not to be codependent on anyone, to really fine tune the things that I don't like about myself, or that could be tweaked, or that should be more celebrated, things that should be more self-expressed, and just try, life. The journey and the thing about life is it is a journey, and you're supposed to experience, you're supposed to see what, sticks to you and what drives you and what gives you passion and things like that. You just gotta try. So a lot of people that I've seen on social media, out of all places, I know, a lot of people that I've seen are really grateful that the year is over, that it's behind them, and they can do a fresh start in 2024. But for me, yeah, it's a fresh start, I guess, in a sense, but we're just continuing this. We haven't stopped yet. We're not doing a brand new slate. We're just gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep the momentum going. Even if it was bad, we're still going to try to change things prior to a new year coming and just keep that ball rolling. Because the whole thing of New Year's resolutions, for me, I'm only speaking for me. If it works for you, great, keep that going, please. But on a self level, for me, the slate is not completely clean. I don't want my slate to be clean or wiped away, because I've worked hard to get to where I am today at this very moment. And we're going to keep that going, because I want to look back and be yes, we just kept this starting from this point, and we just kept it going for years. And I want to look back and see this beautiful path, this beautiful road that I made for myself. And this was the starting point, and look at where we're at now. It's such a magnificent thing. You know what I'm saying? So I know for a lot of people, it was very depressing. It was very just this year was very chaotic for whatever reasons, and a lot of crazy things in the world happened. But I'm focusing on self. I'm focusing on what I can change. What I can't change, I'm leaving it to the universe to figure out, and only looking at things that I can do and influence more people along the way, motivate people along the way. I love to make people smile. And this was a very fruitful year. It was a very life-changing year. It was a very teachable year. I learned so much, and I'm so grateful for the changes that I've become, or that I became. It's one of those. And I can't wait to see how I transform even more in 2024. Because again, I feel like essentially I'm about to pop off. Like I feel like I'm about to explode creatively again. I'm about to ride this wave of just like beautifulness, and I'm just ready. I'm ready. And I feel like it's the fact that oh my God, I'm repeating myself. Jesus, I'm sorry. I feel like this is the first year for a lot of people, but for me, I feel like this is the first year that post lockdown, it feels like there's a sense of normalcy, that we don't have like the weight of COVID hanging over us, or places we can't go, places going out of business, and yada yada yada. It feels like we've gotten to a state of status quo in a sense. I'm using air quotes when I say this because COVID is still around, unfortunately, and it's going to be around until whenever. But I'm obviously still being safe when I go out, managing my health at home, doing lifestyle changes to where I'm healthier, to where if, knock on wood, hopefully I don't catch COVID again or get sick again, because even the common cold that I caught maybe a month ago was very dicey. It was horrible. But just managing your health, and I hope that I don't get COVID again, and just to appreciate my body and appreciate my health a lot more, taking care of myself to where I am able-bodied, able mind, able spirit. And see, now like someone's gonna see this or read this, listen to this podcast and be like, oh my God, he's an ableist. Stop that. You're reaching. Stop it. That's not what I meant. But just to make sure that I'm okay, that I'm in a better position mentally, spiritually, physically. And it's not going to happen passively. It's going to happen with me taking action and taking accountability for the things that I eat, for the things that I consume, whether that be food or digital media or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I just went on a huge tangent just now. I forgot what my center focus was, but I am grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for the memories that we've had, whether that be streaming, whether that be video editing, whether that be, whatever sort of thing that I've created. I'm very grateful to have people in my community to express that to, and for them to express their feelings and express their creativity and express their things. And I'm super happy about that. Like, that really makes my entire world, knowing that I can influence someone to be themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, to take a risk and be their weird, nerdy, quirky, rebellious, outcast, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Be that, be you, and see what happens. I promise you, when you bet on yourself, you will never lose. And I'm glad that I could be an influencer about that. Because the world needs more color. And what I mean by color, everyone's spirit is a different color. They have a different aura, a different color to that aura. And you won't discover yours until you become more of yourself. So to see in a world where it's mainly black and white, for the most part, to see different splatters of color here and there from people being themselves, it makes the world beautiful. It makes the world more beautiful. It makes it more vibrant. It makes it more bold. So I implore everyone to be themselves, because I started being myself for like this year, 2023, I was being myself from top to bottom every day. And that's why I'm so grateful to whom I've become now, because I started being myself for an entire year. And it's been amazing. I love who I'm becoming. I love what I've grown out of, what I've learned, what I've unlearned, what I've developed, what I've changed, what I've struggled through, what I've pushed through, all that. I'm learning to be grateful for everything that happens, because it's not going to happen for no reason. And again, I am controlling what I can. I'm letting go of what I can't. I'm knowing where my presence is valid and appreciated versus trying to fit into a fabrication or whatever. and to be present, to be nurturing, to know when I need to step away from things that don't benefit me, that don't serve me, that hurt me, that, you know, like, it's my spirit is not wanted here. I'm going to remove that. You know what I'm saying? And I pissed some people off a little bit, like, throughout this year. And that was one thing that I was nervous about doing my entire life. Just like, I was a big people pleaser and I didn't want to ruffle any feathers with anybody. But in order for me to be me and to appreciate my boundaries and be that next level of me, you have to do tough things. You have to make tough decisions. Not everyone's going to like you, though. Like, that's just the baseline. There are several billion people in the world. Not everybody's going to like you. And that's fine. Why? Because people are different. Everyone is different. And that's okay. You're different from other people, and that's okay too. Just appreciate what you bring to the table, what you bring to your own table. You're eating at your table by yourself. What do you bring to feed yourself? Take notice of that. And if you don't know how to become yourself, if you don't know where, like, you want to be, what you want to do, just start. Small little steps. Just ask questions to yourself. Talk to yourself. Ask, what do you want to do? Why do you want to do it? It doesn't have to be like an interview, or like, give yourself grace. Be gentle with yourself. Ask questions like, why do you do what you do? Why do you draw? Why are you a streamer? Why do you like to stream? Why do you want to travel every country in the world? Why do you love to surf? Why do you love, you know, this sort of thing, that sort of thing? Why do you feel like you're weird for liking this when a lot of other people like this and it contradicts? Why do you like it? There's a reason why you like it. Ask yourself these questions and you're going to find the answers. But do what you love. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you joy. As long as it's not hurting you and it's not harming anybody else, there's no fault. Because there are so many things to like in the world. There's so many things to not like in the world too. But go with what drives you, what makes you spark, what makes you feel like a kid again. You know what I mean? Even if you're a young person listening to this, like, what makes you joy? What gets you excited? Hell, it could be Fortnite. It could be Lethal Company. I love that game. That game is so much fun. It could be like, oh, I like Legos. I want to make a career out of, you know, building Legos. And people have done that. Can you imagine that? Can you believe that? There are so many different things and so many different professions and paths that people can take. But they didn't take that out of the blue. Like, oh, it just fell in my lap. No, I mean, sometimes on a rare occasion that could happen. But a lot of these things that you see, like people making careers off of TikTok, or careers off of streaming, careers off of, you know, whatever it may be. They took a chance. They took action. They risked it. They found their power with doing things that they loved. And they never turned back. And that's beautiful. That's amazing. And that's what I'm going to continue doing going into 2024. Thank you for listening. This podcast was very all over the place. It wasn't like an emphasis on, I guess, just like one topic. Maybe that's the reason why it's so scatterbrained. And also, I didn't have my coffee. But 2023, thank you for everything that you've taught me, good and bad. Thank you for, you know, opening my eyes to a lot of things. I had to let some people go that was very important to me, that was hard throughout the entire year. But I've also met new people. I've also strengthened some bonds with some people and appreciated people more for who they are and like who they are to me and what I am to them. And we're just going to keep that going. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Happy New Year to a new year in a matter of like less than 12 hours from now, from the time of this recording. So it's going to be less when this podcast is live or this episode is live. I hope you are in good health. And if you aren't, I do apologize. I give you all love and comfort for real. Because this year was very, very rocky. It was, you know, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully I can convert this to, or probably implement a video version of this podcast going into the new year. I don't know what I just said. English. Hopefully I can work on the English. Hopefully I can work on my speech delivery in 2024. But I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I hope you stay hydrated. Be safe. If you're going out, please do not drink and drive. Get a Lyft, get an Uber, have a sober friend if they're willing to drive you to and fro. You know, like it's a time to celebrate, but a lot of crazy shit like deaths, car accidents, all that happens. And now talking about it, I remember last year that as I was leaving from the New Year's thing with my people and about to go home, there was a shooting right down the street, and they closed the street. I'm just like, what a horrible thing to see, or a horrible thing to experience on January 1st, right when it hit midnight. Like, there's already a shooting like that. We gotta leave that shit back. Like, you know, but so stay safe, stay alive, take care of yourselves, drink water, okay? Be gentle with yourself. Be you, because you're seen, you're heard, you're loved, no matter how much it hurts to move forward. Keep that PMA. Check out glitchxgrave.com for more. I'm excited. I've been brainstorming this entire month, to be honest. I'm like, I can't wait to bring this into 2024, and it's just going to be so exciting. So I'm going to say it once again. I love you. I hope you're doing well. Take care.